everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned into the NFL on EA Sports. It's hard to imagine this not being a fun game to watch. It's the Rams going up against the Cowboys. With that, let's welcome in our fine broadcast team. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Obviously, they do everything big here in Dallas, and the introduction to the Cowboys, no exception. They're set for football in Big D, as their guys will do battle with the Los Angeles Rams. Hello again, everyone. I'm Brandon Godden, joined as always by Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at this Cowboy team entering play. They've got to be pleased with the start to this season. Obviously, a perfect 3-0.
3 good quality wins, too. It's got people in the locker room excited. They're thinking that this could be their year.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Rams, they come in feeling good after back-to-back victories.
And the offense last week, they had things humming. If you're a defensive player, you may get overshadowed a little bit, but you're really buoyed by what your offense is doing.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. So out come the Rams now for their first possession. They're led onto the field by the former Cal Bear and the #1 overall pick in 2016, Jared Goff.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
Here's Gurley. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. A gain of 3, second down. And quickly now, here's a look at the Rams offense.
Sometimes just a simple change in scenery, and I think Robert Woods is counting on that, coming back from Buffalo. Now he's back in Los Angeles where he played at USC and had an All-American season there at wide receiver. He expects to be one of the main targets for Jared Goff going forward.
To throw on second down is Goff. Wide open is Watkins. He's got him. And he's finally taken down, but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line. He got 29 yards that time.
When I watched Jared Goff on tape at Cal, I saw a guy who wasn't just a dart thrower. You know, a lot of people said, he's perfect for the West Coast offense. I always thought he could do a little bit more, and that was the reason why. He can push it downfield. He has a good, strong arm.
And now a first down following that long gain. Goff now looks to throw. They got a man over the middle. It's Woods. Flashed the stick skills, but didn't get a ton from it. Stopped short of the 35. 7 yards the pickup on the pitch and catch. Now on second down, this is Gurley. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. So he loses 3 yards there. Now third down.
While we know that the identity of this offense is to throw the ball, they've got to run it every so often, and for no other reason than to tamp down the pass rush. They can't let them just tee off and get to their quarterback.
They got a man. It's Woods. Touchdown, L.A. Robert Woods, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Rams are going to take a first-quarter lead. Looking sharp on that first drive. These guys, of course, coming off back-to-back victories, and you see that kind of advancing into this game, don't you?
You certainly do, and when you have a team that doesn't get too full of itself, even though they've won 2 games in a row, you get the end result that we saw there, that nice opening drive, because they're sharp, they're focused, and they're locked into everything that they're doing.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. Their second-year QB leading them. It's the NFL's Offensive Rookie of the Year for 2017, Dak Prescott.
And it felt like in watching the game tape, he got everyone involved last week.
He was a manager.
He really was. That's a great way to put it because they ran the ball some. They threw it accurately. One touchdown pass, so he didn't, break the bank doing that, but he didn't throw any interceptions. That's the bottom line. That's why a defense loves a quarterback like that. Doesn't put them in bad situations.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. The offensive starters now for the Cowboys.
The trademark of the Cowboys offense is balance. They start with the running game, the number 2 running team in the NFL in 2016. And while the number 23 passing number may give some cause for alarm, don't look at it that way. They run the ball so well and so effectively that when they do decide to throw the football, it often results in big plays.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. LaMarcus Joyner. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. You know darn well both of these teams reviewed the film and saw that this defense had 5 sacks last week. They got to keep their QB upright.
And they're going to try their best to do exactly that. But they're facing a team where getting to the quarterback is a mindset. It's a mantra for them. And they play a game within the game. And you know what it is? Let's race to the quarterback and see who gets there first.
They'll need a big play here, will Dak and the Cowboys. After the sack, it's 3rd and long. They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. Now he's forced out right. He's got his man. It's Williams. And he takes this one just shy of midfield all the way to the 49. Give him 35 yards there on the 3rd down conversion. The numbers for Dak as a rookie last year are still kind of mind-boggling. And you look at QB rating. Dak was 104.9. Now, among full-time quarterbacks, only 2 Super Bowl quarterbacks, Matt Ryan and Tom Brady, were higher.
And look who we finished ahead of. Guys like Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees, Russell Wilson. Amazing.
Prescott now, option right. Oh, Prescott stripped. And the Rams have got it back. He had the option there, decided to keep it, exposed himself and fumbled it.
Yeah, and you worry about the hits he's going to take in that situation. In this case, not only does he take the hit, he coughs the ball up, as you noted.
They'll try and start the drive with Gurley. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
They'll stick to the ground game with Gurley. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first. Last year, Gurley, 74% of LA's carries. That's the highest percentage in the league.
But no real payoff because they finished 31st in the league in rushing. I think as a team, they ran for 78 yards per game. They had a 1,000-yard receiver in Kenny Britt out wide, but they really didn't scare people downfield. And because of that, they stacked the line of scrimmage and stuffed the run game.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. And a look at the defense for the Cowboys.
The Cowboys' defense is characterized by its cohesiveness. When you look at them position by position, you're not often impressed. But when you play together collectively, as the Cowboys did in 2016, you find a defense that ranked number 1 against the run and were a tough team to solve for everyone who tried to move the ball against them.
2nd down following the run. They'll run it now out of the gun. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
Jalen Smith. I got to have some enthusiasm for this young man who missed his whole rookie year because of a knee injury in college. To see him back on the field making plays, that's exciting.
It is, and the good news for him, still just 22 years old, so hopefully a long, bright future ahead of him.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Back live now to begin the second quarter with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's the Rams with a football to get us going. They've got a 3rd down and 5 to start things out. To throw is gone. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. The Rams dead last in the NFL last year on 3rd down conversions, just 32%, but they come through there.
They've got a much better chance of that number rising this year for a variety of factors. Of course, they're going to get their quarterback, Jared Goff, going. But the big part is, last season, they were really a one-trick pony on offense. Now they'll be much more varied under new head coach Sean McVay. At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another 1st down with that run.
10 more there and another 1st down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a 1st down.
Call. And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, L.A. Robert Woods with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Rams add on to their lead. So they've had 2 drives, and he's had the 2 receiving touchdowns.
And how about a game plan where you decide to force feed or feature someone, and it works? First 2 drives, as you noted, end up in touchdown passes. I think they're going to keep going to him until the defense makes any kind of an adjustment.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. A reminder, later tonight, the Colts, they'll be in Seattle to take on the Seahawks. And then Monday night, it's the Redskins getting a 2nd straight night game as they'll head down to Arrowhead to take on KC. We're in October already. Can you believe it?
No, I can't. This one's moving fast.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Cowboys are able to show off their quick strike ability. They were already down 2 scores early. They needed something to try to stem that tide, and that certainly qualifies. A big play to get them in the end zone.
It qualifies indeed because, let's face it, they don't get something done on this drive, turn it back over. This game could be 88 and out the gate early.
What? 88 and out the gate?
Yeah.
What's that?
Well, listen, I used to hear my old man talk about it. Usually meant that thing's done.
Well, now that they got the touchdown, it's not 88 and out the gate. We still got a good game going ahead of us. Bailey now to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Now a hit and a loose football. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. And careless with a football there on the kick return.
And one thing I love about going to practices is trying to get around coaches and hear their catchphrases and what they really emphasize. We haven't been to a single one yet this year where a guy fielding a kick, you don't hear, tuck it away, tuck it away, tuck it away. And this time, they turned it over.
Ball security eluded him.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
He's going to get this one out to his fullback. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. They go play action here on 1st down. Flushed out right. And down inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds right around the 7. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
Nice job there defensively on 3rd down. Not only did they string the play out, but they didn't allow any room for a cutback. Really well organized on the defensive side.
2 minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to Arlington right after this timeout. Coming up at halftime, remember, we'll get you out to Larry Ridley in Orlando for highlights and analysis of this first half. That is, of course, unless you decide to skip him.
And for the record, we do not encourage that.
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And now the Rams are going to halt things as they want a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. The offense here not budging. They're going to fight for it on 4th and inches. It's a keeper with Prescott, and I'm not sure he got there. Did they stop him? They did. They'll get neither the touchdown nor the first down. And it'll be a turnover on downs. So the D-line got the push there against the O-line to stop that quarterback sneak.
A really high percentage call on offense. I think it's the right call, but as you know...
And he can't get away. Gurley couldn't escape it, and that's going to be a safety. And Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
Now the free kick comes after the safety from the 20 as they bring the punter on to try and get some hang time here. This is taken around the 12. Wiggles free. But now Dallas gets set to take the field. And last time they had it 4th and goal, rolled the dice, didn't get it. Now they've got to put that behind and try to put together. Oh, Elliott going to be hit. He coughs it up, loose football. And now the Rams have got it, going the other way. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Los Angeles. Even the great ones, some of the best, they're not immune to the fumble, and here it really hurts them.
If the ball gets away from any runner's body, that's when the defense pokes at it, swipes at it, swats at it, and finds a way to create a big play for themselves.
Now Zerline on to add the extra point. And this one gives his guys a 12-point lead. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And let's gaze our attention on Ezekiel Elliott. First month of the season, those numbers pretty solid. Does he continue that?
I think so, because when you come out of the gate this strong, that means that you have planned for it and you like the results that you're getting. So I wouldn't have any doubt that the head coach, offensive coordinator actually called him in and said, look, you're our guy, okay? We're going to continue to stick with this as long as we're winning games. You ready for the challenge? And then they presented it to the rest of the team. I think we'll see plenty of...
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Mark Barron. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line.
And Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
Over the middle, complete. That's Woods. And he'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. 17 yards is the pickup there for number 17. Talk about a big first half. Already has the 2 touchdowns, adding to his receiving total there and picking up the first down.
He's coming off the line so fast. I think he's intimidating the defensive backs with his explosiveness, and he's chipping away at their confidence.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they had incompletions on first and second down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Throwing on third. Goff. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Woods. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. And welcome back. The offensive unit, they took the timeout. And now they get set to line up as we resume action. Goff throwing again. This will be caught at about the 5. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. Tyler Higbee, his second touchdown on the season. And the Rams add on to their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Here comes Ryan Switzer to return it. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
First down, Prescott.
The screen was executed and completed, but where's the worry on the play? How many times is a quarterback going to get hit? Because offensive linemen have to do an acting job of making sure it looks like they're whiffing on blocks. But you got to slow them down a little bit, because if you don't, that's a lot of big guys coming at your quarterback in a big, fast way. And, boy, he can get hurt.
Out left side here to Bryant. Past the 20. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. From the red zone now, Prescott. Flush to his right. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
Obviously, a big play was needed, and you can see his eyes light up as he realized there's absolutely no one in front of him. And he takes off and goes a long way. Not only does he pick up a first down, but a big gain to boot.
No move for the field goal unit. They're going to go here with 5 seconds left. Looking to throw, Prescott, and that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock. The man with over 1,000 catches, Jason Witten, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up second down. And Bailey able to knock it through. So we've come to halftime. It's the visiting Rams taking the lead to the break, as we send you over to our headquarters in Orlando, where we check in with Larry Ridley for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Thanks, Brandon, and welcome to the EA Halftime Report. I'm Larry Ridley. Let's take a look back at the first half. The Cowboys trail at home at halftime. The Rams will want to come out after the half and really put the pressure on from the start. So here we go. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half. Rams open up on offense. Woods has got nobody around him on the catch, and this 5-play drive goes for a touchdown as they take a 7-0 lead. 1st and 10, on the run, the ball comes loose. fumbled. It's Jared Goff looking for Robert Woods. And he caps off the 7-play drive that they score as they move out in front, 14-0. Now 1st and 10. Elliott's got fantastic blocking up front, and he'll win the sprint to the end zone. Trailing now by just a touchdown. 1st and 10. The football is going to be up for grabs here. Rams would pick it up and score. Rams up now by 12. Now 1st and 10. Under pressure here. The pass is picked off. Barron's the one who makes the pick to give a boost to his defense. Offense out now following the INT. Higbee's wide open here on the catch. And this play will go for 6. The lead now at 19. Late in the second. Bryant's by himself here, and he'll be tackled at the 16-yard line. That'll do it from here in Orlando. Let's get you back out to Dallas as we hand things over to Brandon Guy.
Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Fielded about a yard deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Out come the Cowboys now as he'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the 2nd half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But
this is
going to do that?
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive, and we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the 2nd half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that's... And down he goes on the pressure from the Rams defense. Ethan Westbrooks able to drop him for a loss of a couple. On 2nd down, Elliott. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36. And now they're in the hurry-up. On 3rd down, it's Prescott. Escaping the... And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Robert Quinn able to get him down for a loss of 11 on the play. And it'll be 4th down. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Justin Durant in from his linebacker spot. He's able to drop him for a loss of about 10.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Brought down around the 16 or 17. Had a nice move, but couldn't free much space. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
Now Goff. He's got a man that's caught left sideline. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the 1st. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Great patience in the pocket. Of course, it's easy to be patient when the protection's good, and it was.
Yeah, you've got to pat those guys on the helmet and say thanks because they gave him plenty of time to stay back there, survey the field, go through the reads that he wanted to, and deliver the ball accurately. That was really well executed.
So they took a shot on 1st down but couldn't connect. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall. It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep two hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. To the air again. Gone. He's going to let this one go deep. And it's complete. He's got it in the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. A big play there. His first NFL reception goes for 6. And the Rams add on to their lead.
You have fun with this one, partner?
I am. I mean, he's been fun to watch under center.
We always talk about, getting to the next level, right? When we see people get into the zone, this guy's in the master class right now. What a performance he's putting on, just carving them up. 4
touchdown passes, carving them up is right. Seems like everything he throws is going to be a completion and going in the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Ezekiel Elliott gets ready to go again here on offense as he shuffles onto the field. He's had a good performance, moved the ball effectively on the ground. Of course, he has the 1 touchdown.
And when you're able to move it as effectively as you've described, that leads to...
And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. Alec Ogletree able to get in there and drop him for a 2-yard loss. A second down throw for Prescott. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. The Cowboys' all-time receptions leader, Jason Witten, the intended target. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. Now he steps away, and he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. As we saw in his rookie year, Dak not afraid to run with it, and he did there to pick up the first. Prescott on 1st down. And he hits Jason Witten, the tight end. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. A 1st down throw for Prescott. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. And the offense moving quickly to the line. Second down, Prescott. Got a man over the middle. It's Williams. 23 yards on the play. On 1st and 10, Prescott. Over the middle, complete. It's Williams. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Prescott now on 2nd down. Forced out to his left. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the 1st down on a 13-yard run. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
You're not you when you're losing. Snickers satisfies.
Back now here on EA Sports. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. Aaron Donald in there to record another sack. Their 6th of the afternoon. They go option right on 2nd and goal. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Dak Prescott, his first touchdown on the year. And the Cowboys cut into that lead. So they're down in the red zone. They opt to utilize his legs instead of the arm. It works out pretty well.
I like what they were thinking there, because in most situations now, defense is accounting for all the other runners on the field and, of course, for pass plays. But the quarterback position, oftentimes it is unaccounted for. Offense coordinator felt it, dialed it right up.
Inside the red zone, is this something teams should maybe, depending on the quarterback, do more often?
Definitely. If you've got a quarterback who can actually move it with his legs, that's an extra option and an extra weapon for you. I think they should utilize it more often.
The Rams offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, you're exactly right. Being able to string together these drives that end up in points, it's almost like a run in basketball to create that distance, and they're on a really big-time one right now.
It becomes contagious, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, because oftentimes it translates to your defense as well, because they're excited about getting the ball back for their offense that's playing so well.
Well, they are clicking right now. Some fancy footwork, but not much room to operate. Just up past the 25 and no further. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's third down. This defense starting to buckle down when they need to, and right now they're winning this fourth quarter, losing the game, but they're winning in the fourth quarter.
And what a fine line it is about what they're trying to get done, because they're down, so they obviously need the football, need a score, but they can't be so aggressive as to give up their edge, their gaps, and have the offense hit them with a big play.
Here's Johnny Hacker now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the fourth quarter. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. This is taken at the 18. Oh, shifts past him. And shutting him off. Now open field. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. And they had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
No gain on the screen there. It's 2nd down. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Eluding the pressure right. And some space here. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. No one there to help out downfield, but no problem. Scrambling for 22 and a 1st. Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. Now he'll escape to his right. And a quick shuffle pass here is complete. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. Play fake. Here's Prescott. And the Rams got him. They bring him down. Aaron Donald in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. Third and long for Prescott. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
And there's a good opportunity to just want to ride there. A drop pass. I guess that's why they call them running backs and not catching backs.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Throwing. Prescott. He gets it to Brown. Complete. They get 25 yards out of that one. And it'll be 1st down Cowboys. Prescott from the gun. Flushed out right. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Connor Barwin in there to drop him for a loss on the play. Here's Prescott. Quick hitter here. It's complete. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Prescott now. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and is popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
Prescott from the gun on third. This will be caught at about the 6. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. The quick slant caught. And now this is going to depend on the spot. And they say he's just short. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And this long drive is going to wind up yielding nothing. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. Now, the previous drive they punted, but that was just the first time they've had to do so in this game.
And when they turn on the game film, the coaches will rant about this, right? They'll say, oh, God, we got to move the ball, guys. We can't punt the ball away. But they have to keep smiles off their faces because that's the first time in the game they've had to do so. They've moved it quite well. They'll overall be happy with what they've seen.
Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Again, they run with Gurley. And a short gain here as he gets it up only to about the 6. And now the Cowboys are going to call another timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. On 3rd down, they'll run it with Gurley. And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. Now here's a whistle and a timeout. It's called by the receiving team here. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And taken right at the 35. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. Prescott looks to throw on first. Flush to his right. Drops it underneath to Elliott. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
He hits Beasley right side. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. A good pickup there at 22. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Aaron Donald in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. To throw is Prescott. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. Prescott. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Snags it for the pick, and they get the football, but not much on the return here as he stopped at the 7-yard line. Both defenses have had their struggles, but they've been good enough to get them this lead, and another nice play there to help preserve the lead.
It's been a game of punch-counter-punch, hasn't it? All throughout. But this time, the big swing was taken, and it didn't land. Nice play by them on defense.
And he's brought down after a good gain. A big pickup there, and without question, that should be more than enough to wrap this one up. A lot of scoring. There's no doubt about that in this one, Charles. Points, they were not at a premium. They were pretty easy to come by.
They were, but it was fun, wasn't it? Because both teams finding ways to click. And you know people who love this game, they also love baseball games that are 14-11 with 3 or 4 home runs mixed in.
So for Los Angeles, they're on a nice early roll as they move to 3-1 with a win here. And they will head home next week to take on the Seattle Seahawks. Meanwhile, for the Cowboys, they're going to fall to 3-1 as they suffer their first loss. And they'll have a tough one at home next week against the Green Bay Packers. So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say so long, everybody.